Well, it has been 59 days since Donald Trump took the oath of office, and these next few days could be pivotal to the president's success in office. On Monday, FBI Director James Comey is set to testify publicly before the House Intelligence Committee on potential Russian meddling in last year's election. Later in the week, healthcare will be in the spotlight. Repeal and replace, that was the campaign slogan, but the road to changing Obamacare is proving difficult. The GOP overhaul of the healthcare system will come up for a vote in the House of Representatives on Thursday. Well, for more on the busy week ahead, I'm joined by Ryan Lizza. He is a CNN political commentator and Washington correspondent for the New Yorker magazine. Always good to have you with us, Ryan.
Thank you.
President Trump said that the healthcare bill, would provide insurance, universal healthcare for everyone. He said, I'm going to take care of everyone, even if it costs me votes. That was his promise during the campaign. This bill doesn't seem to come close to doing that.
No, and as recently as January, he told the Washington Post that his bill would include, quote, insurance for everybody, end quote. So, you know, either he has some ideological instincts on this issue that are very, very different than his conservative colleagues, but they won the day here with this bill, or he never really thought deeply about this and was making promises without really thinking what they meant. But this bill, you know, the easiest part of this bill should be the vote in the House of Representatives. You know, that's most legislation. Getting it through the House is usually the easy part. So the fact that they're having so much trouble getting it through the House is very ominous for them.
Well, that's right. And it's not just upsetting voters. We saw all those angry voters in the town hall meetings. Democrats are angry about it, but even his own Republicans against it.
And for different reasons, too. The Republicans are really divided on this. There's a group of, you know, I suppose the best description is moderates, who believe that this bill is not generous enough when it comes to Medicaid. Medicaid is the program in the United States for the poor and disabled. Obama took that program and expanded it to people just over the poverty line so that they could have access to the Medicaid program. So millions of people joined Medicaid since the Obama health care bill passed. And there are a lot of Republican governors who, like that Medicaid expansion, have used it to provide health care in their states, and lots of members of Congress who also want to preserve some elements of it. Those are the moderates. They want that Medicaid expansion. On the right, you have a lot of very conservative Republicans who say, no, we want to roll back that entire Medicaid expansion to the pre-Obama era. And that's the fundamental problem, the simplest way to look at the problem he's having. The more generous Trump in this legislation makes the Medicaid expansion, the more conservatives he loses. The more he cuts that Medicaid expansion, the more moderates he loses. That's the tightrope he's walking, and that's the thing to watch between now and Thursday when we have a vote on this in the House of Representatives is how do Republicans manage those two parts of their coalition.
Right, so the Republicans voting on it this Thursday. If it doesn't pass, what happens?
You know, if it doesn't pass, I mean, theoretically, they could go back to the drawing board and try and come up with a piece of legislation that gets 216 votes, which is what they need right now in the House of Representatives. But boy, if it doesn't pass, I think it shows that there simply is no piece of legislation that could win that coalition over. Now, in the House of Representatives, when you are the Speaker of the House, you don't put legislation on the floor unless you are very confident of it passing. So the fact that they have scheduled a vote and are going to have it Thursday means that they believe that the pieces are falling into place to get to 216. However, we know publicly that there are at least, you know, some 25 Republicans who have said they will vote against the plan as currently written. So it seems like there's some behind-the-scenes negotiations that may be revealed in the coming days. Okay. There might be some amendments that win over some of those people. But boy, if it doesn't pass, it's devastating for the president and the rest of his agenda.
He also has another few things on his agenda this week. Donald Trump, of course, continues to insist that he was wiretapped at Trump Tower and that the former president, Barack Obama, was behind it. We are expected to hear from the Justice Department tomorrow. They are expected to say that is wrong, that claim is false. Where does the president go from here?
Look, tomorrow is going to be a big, dramatic showdown between the FBI director, James Comey, who is not appointed by Trump, but is a holdover from the Obama era and has a staggered 10-year term. So they're which is the reason behind that is to make them apolitical. And he's coming before a very important committee tomorrow, the House Intelligence Committee, and he's going to be asked directly, is what the president said true or not? And it's the first time where he will have a chance to publicly address this issue. And all indications are that what the president said is not true, and that Comey will point that out. That's going to be an earthquake, because this will be yet another senior American official saying there's just no evidence for this reckless claim that the president made. So, and if you know anything about Comey, he is very independent. He, when he testified about Hillary Clinton and the email investigation against her, it was very important testimony that sort of cleared her of wrongdoing, and the president at some point is going to have to face the fact that what he said is simply not true, or provide some evidence, because every senior American intelligence official that has addressed this issue, and now UK officials, has said what he said is just completely wrong.
All right, Ryan Lizza, we will be watching it all as it happens this week. A lot to follow. Ryan Lizza, great to have you with us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Well, you are watching Connect the World. Still to come, a tale we rarely hear from Syria. We'll speak to a photographer who went back to East Aleppo to see what happened next after taking some captivating images.